Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. David Hogg, the newly elected vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, or DNC, has outlined his ambitious agenda, which includes abolishing ICE, defunding the police, and designating the NRA as a terrorist organization. Who is he going to win over with that? I mean, I say it time and time again that the Democrat Party have not learned their lesson. But Hogg, a survivor of the 2018 Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, has been a prominent anti-gun activist. Despite his previous political ventures not achieving their intended goals, his election to the DNC vice chair position gives him significant institutional power. In his victory speech, Hogg emphasized the need to take action against gun violence and rally young people to the Democratic cause. I don't know how he's supposed to bring people around. You know, we all believe he's a goofball, but anyway. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky revealed in an interview that Ukraine has only received about $75 billion of the $177 billion in U.S. aid allocated since the war with Russia began. Zelensky expressed confusion over the whereabouts of the remaining funds, noting that the aid received was primarily in the form of weapons and other non-monetary support. This statement comes amid ongoing scrutiny and concerns about the transparency and effectiveness of foreign aid distribution. Y'all know what I feel about that. I keep saying that this whole thing is just another money laundering venture. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has announced that President Trump and DOGE will cut $1 trillion from the U.S. deficit this year. This announcement comes just 2 weeks into Trump's second term. Musk has already accessed Treasury Department files, leading to significant government spending cuts. The Trump administration aims to halve the national deficit by the end of the fiscal year, following a $1.8 trillion deficit in 2024 under Biden. Musk's efforts have already resulted in resignation of a top Treasury official. Also, with Elon Musk, DOGE faced resistance from U.S. aid officials who locked them out of the agency's systems. This led to 2 top security officials being placed on administrative leave. DOGE personnel who lacked proper security clearance demanded access to the classified information and threatened to call law enforcement. The incident is part of President Trump's broader efforts to reform or eliminate U.S. aid, which he views as wasteful. Musk criticized U.S. aid on social media, calling it a criminal organization and emphasizing the need for significant changes. Now, the White House has dismissed claims that Elon Musk's DOGE accessed secure spaces at the U.S. Agency for International Development, with U.S. aid, without proper clearance. And Democrats on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee expressed concerns about DOGE officials accessing classified areas, but White House Assistant Communications Director Stephen Chung labeled these reports as legitimately fake news. Musk has been revealing information about USAID's activities, including grants to controversial organizations and contracts with Ukrainian energy giant Burisma. You know, the same company that Hunter Biden used to work for with absolutely no experience. Senator Lindsey Graham has announced his support for President Trump's nominees for key positions, including RFK Jr. for Health and Human Services Secretary, Kash Patel for FBI Director, and Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. Graham praised Patel's performance and expressed confidence in Gabbard's understanding of national security issues. However, RFK Jr. and Gabbard may face opposition from some Republican senators. Graham emphasized the importance of these nominations for ensuring effective leadership and accountability in these critical roles. Senator Chuck Schumer is under investigation for his threats against Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. The investigation, led by interim D.C. U.S. Attorney Edward Martin, follows Schumer's 2020 remarks at a protest rally where he warned the justices they would pay the price. I couldn't believe when he made that statement. But this investigation is part of a broader effort by the Trump administration to reshape Washington, including halting federal DEI initiatives and repatriating illegal immigrants. The administration has also taken decisive actions, such as ordering airstrikes against ISIS terrorists in Somalia and cutting government spending to reduce the national deficit. These moves signal a significant shift in federal policies and priorities under Trump's leadership. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith has reintroduced the Safeguarding American Workers Benefits Act, which aims to prevent illegal immigrants from receiving child tax credits and tax breaks for low-income earners. The bill requires both parents and children to have valid Social Security numbers for employment to claim these benefits. You would think that was already happening, right? But evidently not. And the U.S. Joint Committee on Taxation estimates that this legislation could save nearly $28 billion over 10 years. Hyde-Smith supports President Trump's efforts to target wasteful spending and enforce immigration laws. The bill is part of a broader Republican efforts to finance the extension of Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which is projected to cost $4.6 trillion over the next decade. Now, when they say cost, they mean that government is going to have to stop spending that much of the money that they were expecting to receive. In the fall of 2020, the Biden administration enlisted 51 former intelligence officials to sign a letter suggesting Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. Y'all know I've done tons of reports on this in the past and got censored for it. But this move provided Biden with a talking point to dismiss the story during a debate with Trump and justify big tech's censorship of the story on social media. Recently, a leaked email from John Brennan revealed that these officials backed the letter to help Biden mislead the public, which we already knew. This just confirms that. Former CIA Director Mike Morrell sent Brennan a copy of the letter explicitly stating it was meant to give the Biden campaign a talking point. I mean, it literally said that in the email. And Brennan quickly agreed to sign it. The Department of Justice knew the laptop was real since 2019, but the officials signed the letter anyway. Trump revoked their security clearances on his first day back in office, emphasizing the need to keep the intelligence community out of politics. The executive order also bars anyone with the clearance from using their position to sway elections and limits the use of classified information for personal memoirs. I love it. President Trump has launched a new initiative to combat what he calls fake news and corporate media propaganda. I would call it the same. The administration has established a watchdog group and a social media account. It's called Rapid Response 47 to challenge and expose online propaganda. This move is part of Trump's broader strategy to support his America First agenda and counter media narratives he believes are misleading. The Rapid Response 47 account aims to hold media accountable and promote a more accurate portrayal of events. This initiative continues Trump's long-standing contentious relationship with various media outlets, which he has frequently accused of spreading false information about his policies and actions. I love this idea. Veteran Democrat strategist James Carville has criticized the Democrat Party for running Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election, comparing it to starting a seventh string quarterback in the Super Bowl. Terrible. But I love that analogy. Carville emphasized that the party failed to showcase its staggering talent and missed an opportunity to inspire voters. He argued that the Democrats have not had an inspirational presidential candidate since 2012 and need to be honest about their problems to address them effectively. Carville comments highlights the internal struggles within the Democrat Party and the need for a more dynamic and engaging candidate. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned Panamanian President Jose Raul Molino to reduce Chinese influence over the Panama Canal or face potential U.S. retaliation. Rubio, on his first foreign trip, emphasized that China's presence violates a treaty ensuring the canal's neutrality. Molino acknowledged concerns but stated there was no real threat of force. This move aligns with President Trump's broader strategy to reclaim control over the canal and address regional issues. Molino also mentioned Panama would not renew its agreement with China's Belt and Road Initiative. Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg faced backlash for blaming President Trump for a deadly helicopter plane collision near Reagan National Airport. The crash, which involved an American Airlines flight and a Black Hawk helicopter, resulted in 67 fatalities. Tragic. Buttigieg attributed the incident to Trump's administration offering buyouts to air traffic controllers, despite the fact that air traffic controllers were not eligible for these buyouts. It's just ridiculous. It's just fake news that they be pushing. And critics argue that the crash was due to staffing shortages and the FAA's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, which turned away 1,000 air traffic controller applicants based on race. The FAA's preliminary report indicated that staffing at the DCA air traffic control tower was, quote, not normal at the time of the collision. A new effort to recall California Governor Newsom has begun, led by the group Saving California.vote. They argue that Newsom's mismanagement contributed to the devastation caused by recent wildfires in Southern California, rather. The recall petition, which has already surpassed the required number of signatures, cites inadequate resources and delayed responses as key issues. The group aims to gather between 1.2 million and 1.3 million signatures over 160 days to qualify for the ballot. This is not the first recall attempt against Newsom, but organizers are hopeful due to his current low approval ratings and widespread public anger. Donald Trump has achieved a net positive approval rating in New Jersey, a state that has favored Democrats for nearly 4 decades. This is very surprising. According to an Emerson College poll, 48% of respondents view Trump favorably, while 46% do not, giving him a +2 net favorability rating. This comes after a productive first week in office where Trump signed numerous executive orders, including declaring a national emergency at the Mexican border and withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accord. This surge in approval is notably given New Jersey's historical Democratic leanings. Lastly, Texas Governor Greg Abbott and CBP Commissioner have signed an order deputizing 4,000 Texas National Guard members with Immigration and Arrest Authority. This move comes after an incident where soldiers had to wait for Border Patrol to arrive because they lacked the authority to act. The new order aims to enhance border security and will likely be discussed in Governor Abbott's upcoming State of the State address. That's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.